So in this challenge, the idea is that we're looking for ideas and innovative companies and people that can help us with a particular problem that the Office for National Statistics has been set. Many of you will be aware of the Office for National Statistics and the large variety of products and outputs that we produce that support the government in understanding what's going on in today's society. So what we're bringing to the table in this opportunity is not only our wealth of expertise and experience in working with large data sets and handling this material, but also a whole range of background information that we can feed in to these challenges. People are getting to grips with the global goals. These are a set of 17 overarching goals that have been set to every country around the world through the United Nations. In the UK, the Office for National Statistics is looking at these goals, and each of the goals has a number of measures associated with them that set out how we're going to track, measure and monitor our progress towards those goals. And it's our job to work out how we're going to measure those for the UK. But we're not alone in this. Every country in the world is looking similarly at these goals, and we hope by doing some innovative work in the UK, looking at new sources of information, new approaches to analysis, that we can learn something that will have a positive impact in many different circumstances around the world. So we're not only looking at issues in the UK, but we're also working with partner countries like Nigeria, like Bangladesh, and hopefully we will deliver something in this challenge that will be a benefit in those countries as well as in the UK. We're looking for those new sources of data, new approaches to analysis, to visualization, that could really make a difference to how efficiently we can collect and manage information, how we are harnessing the vast quantities of data that are being created every day. Things like social media feeds, thinking about Internet of Things, the devices that people are carrying around with them, the devices that people have in their homes. What are the signals that those devices are generating that can tell us something at a national level about the way the country is making progress towards these global goals? And ideally, that is a model that can be replicated elsewhere. The sorts of solutions that we're hoping to see emerging through this challenge are really ideas that we haven't necessarily thought of ourselves. We are aware that society is an increasingly digital place, that everyone is carrying around with them devices that are interpreting signals of the world that they're living in, that everyone is creating a digital footprint. We're particularly keen to think about how the numbers and the data that's collected can tell us messages that apply to the whole country. So although we may be collecting data from groups that are digitally connected, obviously we should bear in mind the large number of people who aren't. So for those thinking about entering this competition, what I would suggest they'd start with is to really go and study and look at the global goals. A fantastic range of media materials, of websites coming out that are attempting to explain that and really set a high-level context for that. The other thing to think about is this point about how we can say something about society as a whole, both at a whole country level, but also perhaps breaking down different sectors of society, how information from across the country can be used to tell us the story in different parts of the UK, what's going on in the north, what's going on in the south, and also between different populations groups. Are the global goals being progressed more rapidly for men than they are for women? We're interested in those sorts of questions. Ideally, the sorts of solutions that will be presented to us will have relevance and have applicability to a number of the different goals and measures. So rather than just looking at one particular one, we would encourage applicants to think about how their approach might apply to a collection of them. Maybe there's a source of data that actually informs a small number of broader goals so that we can actually improve our efficiency. So, as I say, there's a wealth of material out there that's available for people to find out more about the global goals and what the challenges and the measures associated with them, and really to start with that and build upon the thinking in that area.